And I just looked up and down to her. I looked around. I looked everything about my mother.
Stop loving your mama so much, man. One of the main issues that plague us as black men in the US is our love for our mothers. Now, I know that might sound kind of crazy, but just to say it plain, the amount of love that black men have for their mothers is really holding them back because it's not healthy. It's not a healthy type of love. It's an extreme type of love that it kind of harbors codependency, and it gives you a unhealthy mindset on manhood, and it gives you a unhealthy mindset when you go into relationships where you don't know how to navigate properly in a man woman uh relationship, right? And romantic relationship. And it all stems from that need to be connected to your mother. Now, it's no strange. We're not strangers to the mama's boy trope, right? I'm a little bit older, but we had a show growing up called Martin, right? It was a great show, and one of the bits on the show was that his mother could take care of him better than his wife Gina could take care of him in a lot of situations. And it was things where Martin would come up against, and his wife would try to help him, but he would disregard her and call his mother over. Or his mother would come and see that she wasn't doing an adequate job, and then she would take over. And of course, he would welcome that wholeheartedly. And, while it was a funny bit on TV, it really spoke to a unhealthy dependency or that black men have to their mother. And you don't really see other races of men having this codependency on their mother. Furthermore, that imagery it perpetuates a cycle of weak men who turn to women for leadership. Because when you look at that show Martin, and I'm not singling out Martin, I'm just using it as an example off the top of my head. When you look at that show, Martin did not have a father around or a father present. So you get this idea that his mother was indeed a single mother, at some point in his life. And because so many of us come from single parent households where the mom is the primary care provider, that resonated with the black community. It's one of the things that made the show popular, but it was completely unhealthy. And we see these things permeating through society right now where it's like, man, what the hell is this, right? It's like my mother is the best thing in the world. My mother can do no wrong. My mother is she's deified. That's what she is. She is deified. We have songs, Dear Mama. Um, I think Boys the Men got a song. I'm kind of thinking off the top of my head, but you know what I'm getting at is so many songs dedicated to uh the mothers of our community, which there is on the surface there's nothing wrong with that. But when you start to turn it into a deification of these people, then now you run into a problem. Okay, now you running into idolatry, right? You are running into um, uh, you're running into a path of son husbandry, right? When you become a son husband to your mother, and then now, as your mother gets older, she starts to be dependent on you, and then that codependent relationship, it just starts to breed unhealthy generations of men. And as black men, man, we really got to stop that, man. Now for financial purposes, I understand you may be living with your mother to get on your feet or to try to get things going to start your own family or to start your own home. But it was a point in time, and maybe it is now, kind of out the loop, but a lot of black men were still at home with their mother late in life, 35, 40, 45, 50, and carrying on like that. I even know men, I don't know them personally, but I have known of men that actually go and marry a woman and then take the wife, and they're living at their mother's house, okay? And your mother has all this influence over you, this emotional influence over you, mental influence over you, financial influence over you, and social influence over you. It is really to a point where it's really sad, bro. It's sad. And then, you know black men, you will graduate from your mother, deifying your mother, to now you deifying your woman, and you never get a chance to really develop into the leader that you were meant to be. And it's disgusting. So, like right here in this clip, we see we see Kodak Black dancing with his mother, right? You doing the two step with your mother, or you doing whatever these dances are, and you having a good time. But now something jumps in his spirit where he wants more than that from his mother. He wants a certain type of closeness that a boy or a man, whatever, is not supposed to want from his mother. You can see he gropes his mother's butt. I mean, I would not feel comfortable touching my mother in that way. And you got to ask, why is he even comfortable doing that? Right? Why is she even comfortable letting him do that? And why are they even comfortable doing this on camera? It is nothing normal about this. And then, as you see, he tries to like kiss her, and she kind of dodges the kiss, and for the rest of the dance, she kind of controls the situation where she doesn't let him press up on her. But that's not the first time that he's tried to do that. And how many times has he been successful at doing that? That's just not normal. And then these are the people, just to sidetrack, these are the people who are put in front of us as our headliners, as for entertainment. This young man, he has a lot of influence over the younger generation. Is this a lot of the younger generation's experience with their moms? Maybe. Maybe, because like I said, this whole mama's boy thing is not only a trope that was really persistent when I was coming up. It's been a factor in our community for a long time. And then you lead to this inordinate affection, because that's what it is. It becomes inordinate affection. Let's take this clip here, where Jim Jones is speaking to uh, lip service with Angela Yee.
Taught me everything about sex. Like what? My first condoms, shit like that. My mom taught me how to kiss when I was younger. What did she tell you to do? She told me how to tongue kiss when I was younger. Like what's the instructions? There wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. Like she kissed you? It's my mother. Nah.
This man talking about his mom's taught him how to tongue kiss. Like she put her tongue in her child's mouth. And then he goes on to say it was weird when he kissed a girl that was around his age for the first time, but it wasn't weird with his mother.
The first time somebody tried to tongue kiss me, I thought it was so disgusting.
The first time I tongue kissed a girl, yeah.
I was like, oh, you
my mom's, it didn't faze me. The first time I tongue kissed a girl, I was blown. I was so pissed off. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Come on, man. This is disgusting. This is not it. Okay? This is not it. Then, when I guess he felt weird saying it, I'm not sure, but when he tries to defend it, he says, well, my mom's was young, and a lot of times young women, they treat their children like a brother or sister.
My mom she showed me how to tongue kiss when I was younger. Remember, my mom was 17. She's a baby. Look at all the babies that's having babies now. Sure. And look how they act with their babies. It's like they have a little sister or a little brother more than they have.
Did you think?
Okay, even if it's a brother or sister, you don't stick your tongue in your brother or sister's mouth. That is incestual behavior. That is also inordinate affection, man. So there's really no excuse of it. And of course, right now we have the whole, Me Too and things of that nature coming out, and some of these things you got to question, and some of these situations that these men find themselves in, they are you have to question, like, what's the background, or what's the root cause of some of these things that they're being accused of, if indeed they are true. And we could take, for instance, R. Kelly.
Me and my mom would go to McDonald's before she go to work, before I go to school, and she would get us a Danish. It's all we could afford is a Danish and a cup of coffee. And we would split the Danish and cup of coffee. She wore this cheap lipstick. And she would put 3 creams and 6 sugars in the coffee. And she would stir it up. She would open the Danish, split it with a little plastic white knife. She had this cheap lipstick, and she would taste the coffee to make sure it was sweet enough. And she'd leave the ring of lipstick on the coffee from which she tasted the coffee. And I remember when she would give me mine, when I would sip from the cup, I would turn it around and I would drink from her lipstick part. Because in a son-mother way, I had a serious, serious crush on my mom.
He says that he would intentionally drink off the side of the cup that his mother would drink off, because he loved his mother so much. He wanted that intimate connection with her, to a point where he asked to marry his mother.
I loved her, and I even asked her to marry me one day. I was like, nah. She said no. But you know what? I understood.
And he meant it. And of course he said, well, she said no, and he said, I understand that now as a grown man, why she would say no. But you have the media painting this man as a sexual deviant, and we gotta wonder, you know, like, what's that about? Where's that coming from? What it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. And so you have these men who can't function, and all of these men, they have shown that, they're dysfunctional in a large degree, or they have admitted that they dysfunctional in a large degree in just standard relationships between man and woman. And it's not just them. And I'm not singling them out, because for quite frankly, that was me too. And I don't mean did inordinate affection. Don't get it twisted. It ain't jumping like that over here. No way. But I mean, you know, the way that we are trained to look at our mothers as a deity, and the way that we are trained to uh, take mama's word as law, and the way that we are trained to look to our mothers as a leadership guide on, or our supreme teacher in this life. And it's wrong. It's ass backwards. It's out of order, and it's wrong, and it needs to stop. And then we have, you know, clips like this one. Quite honestly, man, this is child endangerment. This is child endangerment at at the least, and child molestation at its best. Now, because if this was a man doing this to a little girl, then he would be beaten, dragged, and then thrown under the jail, right? So why do we keep allowing women in our community to overstep these boundaries, and aid in the destroying of our black men? Because that's what it's doing. It is no way of getting around it. There's no way of getting around it. Okay, it's destroying our black men. All right, it's inordinate affection. Inordinate affection. Colossians 3 and 5. And when you check that out, man, it's lumped in there with a whole lot of other things. And you would say, well, you know, why is that lumped in there with all the other things? Because it's just as bad. Too much of anything is bad for you, right? So when we look at the definition of inordinate or inordinate, it just, simply means excessive, abnormal, too damn much. It's too much. And too much of anything is definitely bad. And in this sense, it is horrible. And we need to try to find a solution for it and put an end to it. Because if not, um, it's just one of the hundreds of things that's going to keep our men, our young men, um, at the bottom and unproductive. Stop loving your mama so much, man. All right, love her, but stop the mama's boy son husbandry. Just, man, just knock it off. All right. Thanks for joining us here on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and I'll catch you next time in the book club.
What's the freakiest thing you ever did in your life?
I the guy and his mom.
What? His stepmom.
No, his like birth mother, and she sucked his like. Yeah.
How was that?
It was great. Once he looked at her and told her, "Yo, come do what you do best," it was downhill from there.
Wait, he told his mom, "Come do what you do best," and
come do what you do best. She started sucking his, and then at one point they looked at me and he was like, "Come suck this," and I was like, "Why obliged?"
Sucked his too.
Sucked his too. We both sucked his
Together.
together.
That is.